catch me, somebody catch me, somebody catch me! Oh, Jesus, no! Well, that was a fun little vacation. Can't wait to get started on this April video. Ah, fuck. Hello! It's been a while since my last video. It's mostly because I've been dealing with mental health and overall creative blocks, as well as real life changes that have been massively— Don't click off yet! I want to get right into it because viewer retention is hard to keep these days. And today, I'm on a very important mission. I'm here to implore you, no, beg you, no, convince you to play this game. It's made by renowned Civilization and XCOM developer Firaxis. 2022's Marvel Midnight Suns is a tactical turn-based strategy game. Set in the present day, the bad guy faction Hydra has awoken an ancient evil. Lilith, mother of demons, has been revived and now seeks to bring forth an apocalypse. However, it is for this reason that the hero group known as the Midnight Suns exists. Leading them is the Hunter, the player-controlled character. The Hunter is Lilith's only child, and ironically the one who stopped her plans centuries ago. Now revived in the present day as well, the Hunter must lead the Midnight Suns and several other notable Marvel heroes against Lilith and her demonic forces. Before we get deeper into the story, I'm going to divert straight into gameplay. No matter what criticisms and biases I present for this game, I promise that Midnight Suns' core gameplay will convince you. So let's get on with it. As mentioned before, Midnight Suns is a turn-based tactical strategy game with a twist. It's actually a card game. That's right, you thought I was straying away from my brand, but psych, it's another card game! Midnight Suns has the player jump into a variety of missions which can have different objectives. It could be defending or securing key items, eliminating a certain enemy, or just straight up whacking as many enemies as possible in a short time. After selecting a mission, you pick a max of 3 heroes from the rosters to bring. Each hero brings a unique deck of cards and abilities. These decks combine to create the main deck you will be drawing from during the mission. Once in the mission, the player goes first. Your heroes have 3 types of cards they can play. These are attacks, which speaks for themselves as they are your damaging abilities that'll be the offense of your deck. Skills. These cards tend to aid you in non-offensive ways such as buffing, healing, drawing cards, etc. And heroics. These cards tend to be strong effects that require a separate resource called heroism in order to play them. Heroism is built up by using the previously mentioned card types. Heroics can be anything from powerful attacks or incredible buffs for your team. Every turn, you get to play 3 cards, move a character once, and redraw up to 2 cards. Once these are expended or by your own choice, you can end your turn and pass it to the enemies. In addition to card plays, the player may also make use of environmental hazards placed around the mission area. These hazards can be used by both the player and the enemies. They provide an extra source of damage and debuffs that can be done as many times as a player is able to meet its requirements. These requirements are a varying cost of heroism and for the enemy to be within range of the environmental hazard. However, the player and the enemies can also make use of cards and abilities with knockback to push one another into these hazards. And when all of these come together, it delivers a satisfying and addicting gameplay loop. There are 13 characters in the main game's roster, which provide dozens of possible team combinations. With varying enemy types, missions, environmental hazards, and bosses, each fight is a satisfying puzzle to solve. And if you are finding it too easy, Midnight Suns has a sliding scale difficulty that can be changed at any time, granting more bonus rewards to players who seek a harder challenge. It is impossible to describe how good it feels to find a really synergistic team composition or just wipe out the entire screen of enemies in a single turn. However, beyond just the addictive gameplay, Firaxis' attention to detail and budget allowed for this game to deliver some of the most satisfying video game sound and animation effects. The best example, in my opinion, is the beautiful simplicity of Magic's kick attack. It's just a normal, regular kick with little fanfare. But when it hits, it's like, oh, oh god, I think he's dead. Oh, he might be dead. If the gameplay were the already delicious burger, this is like that secret sauce. This sauce adds that kick, that depth, that special something. God. Show that kick one more time. Okay, now you can click off the video and go buy the game. This is it. This is why you should get the game. Go home and get it. Fine, I get it. You're not convinced. I still got a secret ace up my sleeve. But before that, we gotta deal with what I would argue is the largest negative of this game, which is... Midnight Sun's main storyline is... okay, it's serviceable. Lilith is a tragic villain and had potential that simply wasn't well explored. While I appreciate the side quests that tell her past, a lot of her character and story feels like we are being told exposition and not really interacting with her outside of weird dream cutscenes. Also, her plot is just bringing another apocalypse to the Marvel universe, which I feel like I don't need to tell you how many villains have had the same scheme with much more complexity. The other negative of the story is that the Midnight Suns don't get enough development, and a lot of the story really ends up focusing on the Avengers and other notable heroes. It's ironic that the story makes this a main conflict point between the heroes. To put my feeling into a more concise statement, this story feels like Marvel's Avengers featuring the Midnight Suns. At best, the story can have some really solid moments. At worst, it's a mediocre Marvel TV show or movie. And to keep this part short as well as spoiler free, that's all I'm gonna say. Now you may be thinking that this game isn't worthwhile, but that's where you're wrong! For now, I reveal my ace in the sleeve! The main story helps to give a setting for all these heroes to get together and work with one another. While you aren't single-handedly comboing off and whacking every Hydra demon baddie out there, Midnight Suns has another gameplay aspect to explore: human relationships. After missions, or even before missions, you can chat with your fellow superhero co-workers, earning their trust, loyalty, and friendship points. As you level up your friendship with your superhero friends, they will gain a new passive ability. If you max out a friendship with a superhero, you will get a chance to earn their Midnight Sun outfit and card. The Midnight Sun cards are some of the most powerful abilities, as well as being some of the flashiest animations in the game. But who cares about numbers because slice of life time is where it's at? This is where I believe this game's writing shines. It's where it feels more natural for the heroes to talk about their past instead of giving you walls of exposition that can be read on their wiki page. The friendship level up cutscenes are some of my absolute favorites, as there are some real gems that made me fall in love with Marvel all over again. Some might argue that this is strange or unrelatable since superheroes are larger than life people. Sure, but remember that they are still people too, with real people problems. That before the superhero shock, they were just average people. Take, for example, Robbie Reyes, otherwise known as Ghost Rider. At first, Robbie appears to be a chill, happy-go-lucky dude who loves his family and his hometown in LA. He tries his best to protect his neighborhood from the endless gang violence as the Ghost Rider. However, as you get to know Robbie, it turns out that Robbie has deep anxieties, especially about his alter ego. Robbie feels that he is just liked or useful because he is the Ghost Rider, that without the spirit of vengeance, he wouldn't be interesting anymore. He wouldn't be useful. That people simply wouldn't care about Robbie Reyes, the person.
You know, I can't help thinking. The Avengers are so preoccupied with reaching Banner. But I bet no one would notice if I took off and joined Hydra or just, I don't know, disappeared.
Now, besides the flaming skull demon living inside of him, I don't know about you, but Robbie's anxieties are deeply relatable. And this is just one of the many storylines I really enjoyed. The true gemstones of writing are here. This is what kept me going with the main story. As I unlocked new characters, I wanted to get to know them better, not just as heroes, but as the people behind the mask. The main story may only be set-piece battle after set-piece battle with little narrative intrigue, but this is just a vehicle for these characters to share quiet moments with each other. What other game is gonna let me go fishing with Wolverine as he gives me the old dad spiel? Or work out with Blade as we talk about his aspirations as a book writer? Or just go picking for mushrooms with Nico Minoru and talk about weird goth shit? It's perfect! But I will say that these dialogues, well written or not, would not even have half the weight and emotion if it weren't for the absolute loaded all-star cast for this game. Jennifer Hill, Erica Lindbeck, Laura Bailey, Josh Keaton, Michael J. White, Darren DePaul, Fred Tassicor, Jason Isaacs, Emily O'Brien. Oh, did I forget to mention Steve Blum? Steve motherfucking Blum as Wolverine? And even the main character gets the star treatment. Voicing the female hunter is Elizabeth Grullen, known in video game voice acting for her portrayal of the Inquisitor in Star Wars Fallen Order. And for the male hunters, just some guy, I don't really know, what is it, let me see here. Oh yeah, just, Matthew Mercer. Seriously, this cast, well known or not, delivers some of the greatest Marvel hero performances. Now that you're absolutely, thoroughly convinced, I must confess, I neglected a key aspect of Midnight Suns. Similar to the sound and animation work, it adds that final layer of secret sauce to the setting of this whole story. That is...
Yeah, basic stuff. Dorms, war room, library, a few places to chill, and, whatever the hell the Forge is. Have to say, for a haunted transient castle raised on the cursed grounds of Old Salem, it's pretty cozy.
The Abbey is one of my favorite video game hubs ever. It's a pocket dimension of Salem, Massachusetts that has different parts of Salem at different points in time. Just walking around is a nice and cozy time. While the paths you can take are mostly linear, there's some areas off the beaten path that will reward you with side quest objectives as well as goodies like cosmetic and resources. The mixture of forest scenery, ruins, and haunted landscapes adds the perfect backdrop to this game. If you like witchcore or cottagecore aesthetics, this place is the perfect little virtual wandering spot. Now we're done. So go out there and get yourselves a copy of Marvel Midnight Suns. Please, support this game. I know it's a AAA 2K Firaxis game, but please, I need this game series to go on! Midnight Suns reignited my love for Marvel after years of avoiding most Marvel media. It was that amazing, and I just feel with a second try, Firaxis can really nail the game out of the park. And this is where we get to a large reason as to why I wanted to make this video. This game did not sell well. According to Strauss Zelnick, CEO of Take-Two Interactive, owners of 2K and Rockstar, Marvel Midnight Suns was a commercial flop. He figures that it came from the possibility of making the game launch in December. However, I think beyond the rough release date, a lot of it could have also been chalked up to the traditional AAA standard of bug-riddled launches. This, in combination with the lackluster main storyline, having a more niche appeal in terms of gameplay, and the release timing might have been the major causes for Midnight Suns' lackluster sales. Although we don't know the numbers, we can estimate how poorly this game is doing. By the time this video comes out, Marvel Midnight Suns will be a little over a year old, and it is already at a steep 75% discount on most Steam sales. To do some simple math, for the full price normal edition of Midnight Suns, you can get three copies of the Legendary Edition of Midnight Suns, which includes all DLC made for this game. That is how badly this game might be doing financially. I know it's not an indie game where an individual developer is struggling to make the game they have always wanted and have poured years and hard earnings of their life just to make it to the store page. It's a multi-million-dollar company financing a well-renowned studio. I know, but understand that the reason I wanted to make this video is because I want to see more projects like this coming out from AAA companies. A game made with all the passion of good developers mixed with the financial power to take niche ideas to the AAA market. For all the soulless games the AAA market creates, Midnight Suns was such a strange and risky option that has not only made me fall in love with Marvel again, but has immense potential for a sequel. I wanted to end this video on a hopeful note. While Zelnick did mention its poor sales, he also hopes that this game will have a strong lifetime after its initial release. I truly hope that this is the case, because I want to see this team again. I want to see this game with a new coat of paint, characters, and story. I want the Midnight Suns to bask in the sun one more time.
Now, who wants to go save the world?
Hello, Unscripted Yaki here. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has been supporting me these past couple months. I've been in a very rough transitionary period. Without your help on both Ko-fi and YouTube, I just would not have been able to have had a easier time during this transitionary period of my life. Again, just wanted to thank everybody for being patient and know that this is kind of an experimental video, but I do hope you still enjoy it regardless. and that I might be making videos like this every once in a while. Just wanted to do a big shout out to a couple people since they have immensely helped me and have been extremely generous over these past few months. So, starting this off, Will G, thank you so much, Will G. Matthew Lugo, thank you a ton, Matthew Lugo. Kyle Kiramidishan, I'm sorry if I messed that up, Kyle, very sorry. A Mondo, huge thank you to Joe. God damn, Joe, holy shit, thank you so much. And of course, Mr. Artful Reggie, thank you so much, Reggie. I know you're watching this. Thank you so much. I love your stuff. I thank you so much for the art and just supporting on Ko-fi on top of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much again for watching. Again, huge thank you to everyone who has supported me all this time. It's been wonderful. I don't think I would have had the confidence to make a video like this. So, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!
What is your catchphrase? It is time to morb?
Close enough.
More but.